Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom nestled between rolling hills and sparkling rivers, there lived a woodcutter named Aaron. He was known throughout the land for the quality of his work and the kindness of his heart. But unfortunately, despite his honest efforts, he and his family lived in poverty. Every morning before sunrise, Aaron would grab his trusty axe and head into the nearby forest to chop wood. He would work tirelessly all day, hoping to earn enough money to buy food for his family that night. Life was tough, and the weight of providing for his loved ones pressed heavily on his shoulders. One day, as Aaron was cutting down a stubborn tree, he heard a strange sound. It was a beautiful melody that seemed to be coming from somewhere deep within the forest. Intrigued, he followed the enchanting tune and soon came across a clearing. And in the middle of that clearing was something that took his breath away. It was a bird unlike any he had ever seen before. Its feathers were a brilliant golden color, shimmering in the sunlight like 1,000 tiny stars. As the bird landed on a nearby branch, Aaron noticed that one of its feathers had fallen to the ground. It was still glowing softly, as if holding a magical light within it. Aaron, being the honest man that he was, didn't know what to do with this strange find. He considered returning home without telling anyone, but the thought of keeping such a precious thing a secret felt wrong. On the other hand, he knew that if he revealed what he had found, many people would want to get their hands on that golden feather. Torn between honesty and self-interest, Aaron decided to follow his heart. He walked up to the tree where the bird was perched and called out to it, hoping it would understand his pure intentions. To his surprise, the bird tilted its head and replied in a voice that sounded like wind chimes. "Hello, kind woodcutter. I have been watching you, and I can tell by the purity in your eyes that you are a good and honest man. The truth is, I am no ordinary bird. I am a celestial messenger, and this feather you hold is a gift from the heavens. It has the power to grant wishes, but be warned, only the purest of hearts can use it, and greed will turn it to dust." With that, the bird spread its wings and soared into the sky, leaving Aaron alone with the glowing feather. He knew he had an important decision to make. What should he do with this magical gift? Should he keep it for himself and use it for personal gain, or should he do something greater? After thinking long and hard, Aaron came to a realization. He knew that he wasn't meant to keep such a powerful thing for himself. He had seen firsthand how poverty had affected his family, and he wished for everyone in his village to have enough food and resources. So instead of making wishes for himself, he decided to use the feather to help others. As soon as the sun went down, he placed the feather in the center of the village, and it immediately began to glow brightly, lighting up the entire area. Villagers came out of their homes, amazed by the sudden illumination. They gathered around and saw that the feather was giving off a soft, warm light that chased away the darkness. Aaron explained what the bird had told him and how it could help them. He suggested that they could use the light to help children study during the night, as many families couldn't afford candles or oil lamps. Everyone agreed that this was a wonderful idea, and from that day on, the village school became a beacon of light, thanks to the glowing feather. Children would come from all around to study in the evenings, and parents no longer had to worry about their children wasting precious oil lamp fuel trying to study late into the night. This continued for many days, and the feather never lost its glow. Aaron was happy knowing that he had helped improve the lives of so many people. News of this magical feather reached the greedy king who ruled over the land. He wanted to use the feather to expand his kingdom and become even wealthier than he already was. Ignoring the advice of his counselors, he marched his soldiers to the village and demanded that everyone surrender the feather to him. When they arrived, they found that the feather was indeed magical, and the king snatched it from the village elder, eager to see what wishes it could grant. Back in the palace, he tried to use the feather to make more gold. But instead of appearing in his treasury, the extra gold appeared in the hands of beggars and servants. He tried again and again, but no matter what he wished for, the feather only granted wishes that benefited the poor and needy. This made the king furious. He couldn't understand why his wishes weren't coming true. Aaron, hearing that the king had taken the feather, knew he had to do something. He might have been just a poor woodcutter, but he couldn't stand by and watch as someone tried to destroy the magic of the feather. He went to the palace and confronted the king, reminding him of the bird's warning that greed would cause the feather to crumble. The king, blinded by his own greed, didn't listen and threw Aaron out of the palace. As Aaron walked away, he looked back at the towering walls, knowing that the king would soon learn the hard way about the consequences of greed. True to the bird's word, as the king continued to try and bend the feather to his will, it began to crumble into tiny pieces of ash. Each failed wish caused more and more of the feather to turn to dust, and the king panicked. He tried everything to stop the feather from fading, but nothing worked. In a last-ditch effort, he released the villagers he had imprisoned earlier and begged them to help him restore the feather's glow. Realizing that the king had finally understood the error of his ways, the villagers agreed to help him. They all gathered in the throne room, holding hands in a circle around the nearly completely faded feather. Together, they sang a song of unity, forgiveness, and kindness, pouring all their hopes and dreams for a better future into the melody. Suddenly, the feather glowed brightly once again, brighter than it had ever shone before. The king was astounded and overjoyed. He realized that the villagers were right. Greed had almost destroyed him and his kingdom. He apologized to them for his actions and promised to change. And so the king and the villagers spent the next few days repairing the damage that had been done and making plans for a brighter future. In the meantime, the golden bird returned to Aaron, seeing that he had handled the feather with care and kindness. It bestowed upon him the fully restored feather, saying, "You have shown great wisdom and compassion, Aaron. True wealth lies not in material possessions or power, but in the love and respect of your fellow beings. Use this feather wisely and always remember that greed will only bring sorrow." With that, the bird flew away, leaving Aaron with the magical feather once again. He knew exactly what to do. He returned to the village and gave the feather back to the people, who continued to use it to bring light to the school and improve the lives of those around them. The king kept his promise and treated his people fairly, ensuring that everyone had enough to eat and that the schools remained well lit. Years passed and the village became known throughout the land as a place of unity, kindness, and prosperity. All because one woodcutter named Aaron found a golden feather and chose to use it for good. As for the king, he learned a valuable lesson about greed and humility. He realized that true wealth came not from material possessions, but from the love and respect of his people. And so he ruled his kingdom with fairness and compassion, making sure that everyone had a chance to succeed. The story of the golden feather reminds us that greed and selfishness only lead to destruction, but kindness and compassion can create true treasures. Thank you for watching today's story. If you liked this tale, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe our channel, Kids Poems and Stories, for more enchanting adventures. Also, share your thoughts and favorite characters in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you.